Hello guys, welcome to PET Talks number 3. Hope you're all well. My name is Vlad, I'm the head of sales at PET, and I'm joined by Nikos, our head engineer. We'll be talking about EUCs again, because we love them. Today we have all the big boys, 100 volt big size heavy wheels. 3 wheels we prepared today. From here we have the Extreme Wheel Commander, it's a high torque version. Then we have the veteran Abrams, possibly the biggest wheel in the world now, and the Bigodi Hero suspension wheel by Bigodi. We prepared 10 points we will go through about each of these wheels. We'll compare things like the motor, battery obviously, the build of the wheel, waterproofness, and then all the accessories which are included, or whether we would like to give you suggestion what you need to improve on the wheel if you buy it. So, let's start with the Commander. So you know it's made by a brand called Extreme Bull, which is kind of a child of Bigodi. So it has loads of...
It is Bigodi.
It is Bigodi, Godway. Anyway, all these 3 wheels, they have similar roots, you know, same people work in the same companies, they split, created new companies, that's why all the wheels have some very similar parts. The Commander, for example, has Bigodi display, controller, other bits. The high torque C38 motor by Bigodi, so that's very similar with the Hero. You can get the C30 as well, the high speed version, which is different, we will talk about it later. And the Abrams comes with a different motor. It's a high torque motor which has power of 3500 watts. Didn't say that, but the high torque motors or these 2 wheels on the side, they are 2800 watts, so they are the same, but Abrams is more powerful. Obviously it's much bigger wheel. So that's the next point. These 2 wheels are on a 20-inch tire. It's the Kenda off-road tire, which you might know. It's the one from Sherman. Yep.
It's 18 inches.
It's 18-inch, but yeah, the diameter of the whole tire, they call it 20-inch. So 18-inch rim, but 20-inch tire. That's the difference. On the Abrams, you have more kind of hybrid, we can say urban off-road tire. Obviously, it's 20-inch wheels, so much bigger wheel to turn around. Hence, they put the high torque motor on it. What will be the next point? Obviously battery. I think we will start with the Hero that has the classic RS battery, 1800 watt hours. They had to sacrifice some battery size because of the suspension installation. Then the Abrams has 2700 watt hours.
Yes.
So it's in between. It's a little bit smaller than it was on the Sherman, but that's what they did. I guess if they put bigger battery, the weight would be just horrendous.
Yes, it's already heavy.
And then finally the Commander has 3600 watt hours battery, so that's your ultimate long range wheel.
That's a beat.
Then the next thing, if you want to talk about top speeds, all these wheels, you know, they are high torque motors, so you can't expect 60 miles per hour. But I would say the top speed would be on the Abrams. It's around, we would say, we're gonna talk about safe speeds, not free spin speeds, but safe riding speeds. So the Abrams would be around 4 to 7 miles per hour or 75 kilometers per hour. That's when you get beeps. We talked with Adam Wrongway, and that's what he confirmed, what he reached when it started beeping. On the Commander and Hero, I would say that safe top speed would be around 60 kilometers per hour. It's classic Godway high torque motor. I reached 65 kilometers per hour on it, but it beeps at you from around 55, yes. So I'm not doing anymore because they wouldn't be the safe.
You need to respect the beeps.
Yeah, you need to remember that these wheels are high torque versions, so they will give you loads of power, but if you are looking for something faster, perhaps you should go for the high speed version, which is available as well. Then we talked about the wheel size. Obviously the Hero is a suspension wheel, so it has very similar air shock suspension. You know, first wheel which came with this was the S18. Now Hero came with something similar. You know, there's lots of talks between these 2 companies who came up with what first. We will leave it there for you to decide, but we can say that unfortunately the Hero didn't come with very good suspension.
No.
You can tell a little bit more about it.
Me riding, first of all, like I find it like, how to describe it? Awful. And the reason is like, you are really high, so the wheel, like, it's so hard to turn, to maneuver, and also the travel of the suspension, it's so short.
It's very small.
Yes, so small, and it's heavy as well.
Yeah. From my experience with the suspension, it's okay, you know, to pump it, and it's alright. It's similar to V11, InMotion V11, I would say. But the moment
No, it's not.
It's worse.
It's much
in your
worse.
opinion? Okay,
Yes,
cool.
and I believe that
For
the
me, I
V11
was
is the
surprised
worst.
that the moment I hit a curb like this, it really hits you. It doesn't really cope, because I think it's because of the geometry, because it's just pointed really straight down, and the travel is really small.
The worst thing about the unicycle for me is the price. Like, it doesn't match for what the unicycle is. You have like an RS battery, like it's so small battery, and yes, look, it has a beautiful handle, for example. But
We'll talk about it later.
yes, but the unicycle is not there. Like, I wouldn't pay £3,000 for it.
Yeah, I think what Nikos, you know, I'm not so strict in an opinion about the Hero, because I was riding it and I kind of like it. We are, to be completely honest, we are different riders.
Yes.
Nikos is more aggressive. He's only 60 kilos, I'm 82. We like different rides. As I said, he's young, aggressive, you know, crazy rider. I'm more, you know, high speed cruiser.
Not
we can
you
call
are.
it like that. I'm not old, yeah. So I didn't mind this wheel. Nikos hates
No,
it.
I
but
don't like it at all.
I think for him, he hates the position, because of the suspension, you are positioned really high. For me, I got used to it. Nikos hates it. You had a couple of wobbles.
And like,
didn't
you
really
cannot
work for you.
corner it like fast. Like, you need to slow down to corner. Like,
Okay.
that, for me, it doesn't do the job.
Okay, yeah, I agree. It's
This,
different.
from the other hand,
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think Commander, you are positioned lower. Obviously, there is no suspension. It's basically more torquey Sherman. It gives you more power. Because it's high torque, it doesn't give you the top speed of Sherman. But you would get that with the high speed version. That one, we know what Jared did, I think 52 miles per hour, and didn't have a beep on it. So free spin speed on high speed is 60. We would say max 50 miles per hour safe riding speed on the high speed.
I mean, the high speed, look, the Gotway claims like I can go up to 60, like, but
On free
I
spin,
don't
yeah,
suggest it like at all. Like,
Yeah,
don't
because
try.
you know, bear in mind that if you look at some specs, you need to check whether it's actual riding speed or just free spin when they
And-
lift the wheel and let it go to the point when it cuts
And
out.
always, like, when you ride fast, like, you listen to the beeps, like, that's the first thing that you need to do, like, you slow
Yeah.
down. It beeps, you slow down.
Yeah, on the Bigo, the Extreme Bulls, you know, you have 2 alarms. You can set them up in your app. I think the first one would be at like 30 kilometers per hour, the
you can-
second one at 45,
Yes.
and then there is no other alarm unless
It is the last one.
The last one, when you get to 80%, when you are using 80% of the battery, that's the last beep, just before you cut
And
out. So when
that-
you hear that, you need to slow down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slowly slow down, don't
Yeah.
force it.
On the Abrams, it's, as we said, at 47 miles per hour, 75 kilometers per hour, which I think is 70% of the power. So that's where it beeps at you, but we find this wheel, you know, it's Libra cream like Sherman, it's more reliable at high speeds. We can say that.
Yes, we can say
As
that.
well, I think it's my theory, but because of the larger diameter of wheel, I think it doesn't create so much pressure on the battery at high speed, because you have the rolling
Like, look,
of the
the
wheel.
20 inches, they do the job, like,
Yeah.
because the wheel is gonna build up like easier the speed.
Yep.
But like,
It's 22. Yeah.
yes, and it's a wheel from a company, me riding the Sherman, all of
Yeah,
these,
you
like,
know Sherman,
years
so you know the classic
that I trust.
Sherman version 1 is 2500 watts. This is 3.5, so it has much more power in the motor
Yes.
to create the torque. Battery is smaller, but as I said, it deals with the top speeds really nice. It's great.
And it's a really well done product, like, it's really good
Yeah,
made. Like,
let's move on to the build.
say we have 3 wheels here. The Commander is again a good build. Like, you don't have the frame of the
There's
Sherman
not,
anymore.
you don't have the roll cage like on the Abrams or Sherman. They replaced it with the high plastic, so you
Yes.
still have the option to grab it, but you can see we put a little bit of soft material because the handles were quite sharp, so you need to put something in there.
Inside, when you take out the panels, you can see like it's much space for the batteries. So they are like, it's okay again, though we don't have a cage for the battery. It's a battery on a plastic wrap.
Yeah, it's the battery is not protected
And-
as it is on some wheels like InMotion V12. But
And-
we are kind of happy with the material.
Yes.
We were a little bit scared of the plastic as it looked a bit cheap, but it's really hard actually. And the outer cases or these covers, lids, they're actually from the same materials as the lids on V12. It's black but a little bit transparent, so it's the same material and it's quite tough.
This
one, yeah.
This I find this unicycle design like beautiful. Like it's really well done.
The build, you mean? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you take out the panel, you have a battery inside the plastic case as it should be.
Yeah.
I really like the frame. I really like the whole frame. Inside, again, like it's me, I find it beautiful. Really nice design.
Yeah, I think, you know,
Yes.
me too. I like the bionic kind of, you know, ribs over here. I wish they could do Sherman size wheel with the same design. But yeah, I think with the design we like the Abrams the most. Then let's move on to Hero.
On the Hero.
It's, look,
Look.
it's different, you know, it's totally new body, new build to any other bigody wheel. It's different, we like it. The Hero, I think, has the biggest waterproof level.
I mean, that's what they claim again.
Well,
but
we have seen the videos, them riding it in a
Yes.
lake, submerged onto here, up to here. We are a little bit skeptical about it. When you look at it, you know, we can show some photos again. Obviously the batteries are covered in their own plastic casing, but there are places where the water could go through in some ways we can show you. But yeah, the water, I think for English weather it's really good. There's, you know, if you get into rain
Yes,
or you
yes.
get, you know,
I mean,
get splashed with
it's
water.
gonna be
it's
okay.
good.
It's plausible for sure.
Yeah, the same comes for the Abrams. It's I think it has IP65 actually, so the water can get inside of the body, but all the parts are separated in their own casing, which is really good. On the other side we have the Extreme Bull Commander. Look, there is good sealing around the casing, it's good, but you have the classic holes underneath the trolley handle where you can get rain through.
Yes.
So with this wheel I would say you need to be a little bit more careful in the heavy rain. I'm not sure as well about the waterproofness of the display.
Look, it's much better than all the Godways that we saw so far. Like,
Yeah.
it's much better than the RS, much better than MSX, much better. Like, here you have these parts that they go the side panels, and after, like, you have a good body frame that protects the most of the parts. But again, yes, as you said, the handle, it's a spot that the water can go through.
So maybe shall we move on to trolley handle?
Trolley handle. I find this trolley handle, like, it's pretty similar to the Sherman, I would say. Like, it's a good trolley handle, again, like,
Yeah.
it's wobbly a bit.
But I think we have done around 500 miles on the Commander,
Yes.
and the handle is working well. I think you have seen it on a Wrong Ways video. The plastic button on the top, it kind of gets stuck inside of the hole, but it's not a problem. It never, you know, we can take it out, that's okay. The Abrams has amazing, really sturdy and tall trolley handle. Everything feels really strong. It's really good for tall people, you know, you can walk with it really well. You don't have to, even if you are over 6 foot, you don't have to really lean. So that's really good. And one thing which is the best from these three wheels would be the trolley handle on the Hero. It even has a lift, not lift sensor, but a lift position where you can carry it with it. We think that this trolley handle is the sturdiest.
Yes.
So that's
It's a bit short. The unicycle is tall.
It's
the
yeah,
unicycle
short, but
yes.
it works really well. So yeah, that's one win for the Hero. Next, lights. So we will start with these two because they are very similar. You can see
Awful.
the Commander has the classic bigody double light. I think the brightness would be okay, but it's pointed really low. So the moment you start accelerating, if you go over 20 kilometers per hour,
Yes, it looks
you're
down.
pointing to the
Doesn't
ground.
work.
You can see we have put the Shred Light 1000 lumen on this wheel in order to be able to ride in the night. Same light on the Hero. One nice thing is that they added this blue LED light around it. It looks really cool, kind of alien design, but once again the light is not bright enough and it's pointed to the lower position, so the moment you lean it goes
It's
down.
a bit better than this because the unicycle is higher, but
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
I don't like it at all.
Over here we have the light on the Abrams. It's really bright. It's probably the best light you can get stock on an EUC at the moment. It has two different levels, so you can dim it, and the main best thing is that you can adjust the angle of the wheel. So if you're going fast, you know, you can point it higher. If you're going normal speed, you can point it lower, so you don't blind people in front of you. But yes, it's amazing light. If we talk about the rear brake lights, Commander has almost non-existing brake light. It's a couple of LEDs in the back because they decided to put speakers on that side of the wheel.
That again is not good because
It's
the
not
speakers
good.
are pointing back.
Yeah, you can't really hear them, so they are more for people who are behind you. And the brake light is really dimmed, really dark. For me, for example, I wear the burner brake light or a barrel pixel, which, you know, I can show people behind me that there's someone in front of them. The Abrams has really good LED light on the back as well. It could be brighter, but it's good enough. The Hero has
The design is nice.
really nice design,
Yes.
okay with brightness as well.
And it's really kind of alien, like really futuristic design. I
Yeah,
really
again,
like.
you know, like they did well on the kind of alien design
Yes, they
on the
took
Hero.
good 2 points out of 20. Like, well done, guys.
Cool. Yeah. So that would be, I think, the best looking is on the Hero. Yes. Now let's talk about pedals. So what you get in stock with these wheels? Let's go from Commander again. I'm not sure if you can see it, but we don't have the stock pedals on it because you come with this on if you buy the Commander from stock. These are really big, so they are good for big guys. They are studded, but they are really slippery. I'm not sure if you can see, but I've tried to put grip tape on it, but that was gone the moment we went off-roading.
Work, eh?
So we took them off and we put the big OD CNC pedals. Amazing.
Yeah, really, really slippery. I mean, I
The
would
moment,
advise you, right?
even with dry shoes, they're slippery, and the moment you get your shoes wet, you just slip off, so you don't have any control of the wheel. The Abrams, there's massive pedals. They're really wide, so you know,
Beautiful.
appropriate to the size of the wheel. They're really big. They're studded like on the stock Commander, but they're a little bit sharper. So far I didn't have any problems with them. I think they might get a little bit slippery as well in wet conditions, but I think the little bit of grip tape or some rubber might help you. And then obviously with the Hero you get CNC pedals by Bicody as stock, but hence the high price.
And they don't clip up, so you have a wheel that you cannot close the pedals. Yes, there are ways,
They don't stay up.
but they don't stay up. So if you want, like me, I find like this bothers me a lot. I mean, come on, it's a pedal. That's why it's functioning up and down.
On the Commander, the stock pedals, they stay up because they have the magnet, and for the CNC pedals we have to put our own magnet to make it work. The Abrams, they are really good, they stay, I think, even diagonally. Unfortunately on the Hero, the CNC pedals don't have any point how to stay up. So, next point, pads, power or torque pads. What you get in stock with the Commander are these. They're okay,
Yeah,
but
they're not bad.
I don't like them because of the angle. What I like on pads would be that the front, I think this is your front, is angled and the back should be straight. Because this is really narrow, it doesn't really work. You can find a better position,
Yes.
depending where you're gonna put them. But for me, I like the torque pads to be higher, so you can really lean onto them. And then
And I like to have more space.
I don't have much space
Yes,
between
I
them.
like to have more
So we
space.
put the Bigody power pads on them. I think they are a favorite. You have them on your Sherman,
Yes.
and they work really well. They give you lots of leverage to push against.
If you don't have a wheel for jumps, because like
Well, these wheels are not really for
Yes.
jumps. You know, they are
this pad,
big wheels.
this
yeah.
pad works. Like for me, it works.
Yeah. Then on the Abrams, they come with very similar pad like this. So again, it's really narrow. These didn't work for us at all. So we took them off because they're just too narrow. So you don't have much space between braking and leaning forward. It just doesn't work. So once again, we put the classic pads, power pads.
That's from Emotion.
These are Emotion, but they are very similar to
Yes,
the
yes.
Bigody ones. We can post some pictures later on, so you know what we're talking about. And finally, on the Hero, they come with really weird pads. I think my main problem is that they're really, unless you do some modification with
They're
the
huge.
foams and stuff to put them higher, if you put them on the top of the battery case, they're really low. And because the wheel is so tall and everything, you need more leverage on top. So, not good. If you put maybe Grizzla pads or some modular pads which you can split into, it might work because the front would have to go higher for me. It's really difficult to find the riding position on the Hero because of the pads. Yeah. I think those would be kind of all the points we needed to talk about. You know, they all have two charging sockets. The Commander comes with the classic Bigodi, I think 3 amp charger.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all good. The Abrams comes with a new charger, which is the same one like for V12. It's 3 amps. In my opinion, they should send 2 with the wheel because otherwise it will take ages to charge it. But
Anyway,
again,
it's good to slow charge. It's good slow charge.
yeah, be safe. Be safe. And the Bigodi Hero, it comes with a classic Bigodi charger as well, 3 amp. Yeah.
No, I think that comes with a 5 amp charger. No, with a 3. No, with a 3. With a 3, yes.
3.
Now tell us how do you feel like riding like
Yeah.
this unicycle?
Well, as I said, like, shall we go from the left again?
Let's go
Commander, as I said, Nikos likes it as well. This is the high torque, remember? So yeah, it's more torquey Sherman. Much more power. You know, I think that would be wheel for someone. If you're going for the high torque, there would be wheel for someone who doesn't really need to go over 16 kilometers per hour and wants torquey wheel with massive range. You know, it will give you 100 miles easier, I'm sure.
If you're a big guy, the high torque like the unicycle it can support you.
Yeah, it's a little bit more torqueier than the Sherman, so you have more acceleration. You know,
Me
more
riding the Commander, like I would prefer a high speed rather than a high
as
torque
well.
because that's me.
Yeah,
I really like my
and
speed.
we know the high speed, it's still very torquey. It's good, but
I really like the Commander because like here, like when I riding, I feel like it corners like really well.
yeah,
And
it's really well balanced. You know, even with that.
I like the Godways software. I really like the Godway software.
Yeah, it's good.
Riding this, for me,
It gets a couple of hours to get used to it because it's really big. You know, it comes. I think even when you have it, it's almost like above your knees. Once again, we had to put the different power pads on it to give you more leaning power, but once you get the trick of it, it feels amazing. And it's actually because of the torque motor, even with the 22-inch tire or wheel, it's really agile. We will post some videos, you know, with what we did so far. You can do lots of fun things. It's not just high-speed cruiser. You can do commuting on it as well.
Here, for
you
first
just
time,
need to learn how to lean.
like before it was a Godway the Monster. I didn't like the Monster. The Monster was a wheel on a box. Like it was like a really weird when you ride. Like every corner, you could see like it was a struggle.
Yep.
Here, like it feels much better, much steadier. We have the first unicycle after the Monster that is so big.
Yeah, with the 22-inch
Yes.
tire. Yeah.
And that unicycle for me works. I didn't really like the Monster. It was like a box with a wheel.
Yeah, Monster was really kind of like airport runway wheel where you have loads of space to
Just to go
accelerate really
straight.
slowly, and yeah, you have really high speed, but it takes you some time to get there.
Cornering
With
was
this
awful.
wheel, you know, depends as well on what mode you are. I am 80 kilos. It still feels quite heavy for me, so I put it on soft mode, but that means when you lean, it leans with you and
with
you
the case.
accelerate, but
Yes.
it just flies. I love it. It's really cool. I think Adam Wrongway, he rides on medium. We had some heavy guys, tall guys trying it, and they said they would go on medium or hard. So it really depends, you know. Like if you
For me, 60 kilos, like I cannot ride on medium or hard. I cannot
it's
stop
soft,
the
yeah.
unicycle.
Let's talk about displays now. So you know all these new wheels, they have display. So on the Commander, it's the new display for Bigodi. It's the same like on RS. So it's okay. It tells you the temperature, it tells you the speed, but it's not very bright in daylight. You
Yes.
can't really see it in day. The Abrams has the Libracrim Sherman display, which is really good. You know, it tells you all the stuff you need, and it's quite visible.
And yes, and it's a nice, like big display. that
And
you can
correct me if I'm wrong. It's I think it's waterproof as well,
see. This one, yes.
fully. And then finally the Bigodi Hero. It has really nice display.
Yes.
It's like blue in color and really bright. So even during the day you can see that, and it's really large. So yeah, one thing we didn't talk about, weight. That's quite
Important.
Important, sorry for forgetting that. I think Commander and Hero, they are both around 37 kilos. The weight on the Commander is the battery. The weight on the Hero is the suspension. Unfortunately, a small battery, so the weight is taken by the suspension. And then the Abrams is 45 kg, so it's a big, heavy baby. It might be difficult to lift it up even in your car, unless you are 6 feet tall guy and a strong guy. I think then you need, if you're not, then you need someone else to help you. The Commander is a little bit heavier than Sherman, but I think that's still okay for one person to go up the stairs. The Hero the same.
And the Hero you can actually carry because the handle is easier and you have like this point on the front and you can get the suspension, but really...
But then it's annoying because the pedals don't close, so when you lift it, the pedals just stay out and it's just annoying. You can kick yourself or something.
Me like driving these 3 unicycles, I know like this unicycle I'm not gonna feel very good with it because it's so heavy and I'm so light.
Yeah.
But riding the 3 of them, I believe like the Commander, it's a really good unicycle if you have experience. It's not a unicycle for starters. The Abrams, yes, it's a really well done unicycle. Vlad, you are a different kind of rider, yes.
Yeah.
And cruising, it's nice, the Hero. But it doesn't like, you cannot do really off-road. It's a bit heavy for it and so tall.
Yeah, that's why I was comparing it to V11 because V11 as well, you know, it's a suspension wheel, but it's not really the best for off-roading. I know some people use it for jumps a lot, but I don't know.
V11 for me was a failure
because,
as well.
Because you are so tall, you know. That's the same thing for this wheel.
The V11 was really lazy. A really lazy wheel, like it wouldn't accelerate. It doesn't matter how far you lean, it wouldn't accelerate.
Yeah.
But like this again is not for off-roading. Like I would prefer, for example, an RS or an S18.
Exactly, you know, something lighter, you know.
Yes.
For this kind of battery size to be at weight 37 kilos, it's a lot.
And that's the point, like, so you don't have really high speed, you cannot use it off-road, the suspension doesn't really work,
so
you don't have much range.
What's the point of the Hero, you know? I guess so. I think we went through all the points of differences between these 3 wheels. So let's do some kind of summary. I think with the Commander, what do we think? What wheel would you choose out of these 3?
Out of these three, I think I would choose the Commander.
Okay. The high torque?
The high speed. The reason is like, I like my speed, I like to go fast. That's a wheel, that's most likely one of the fastest unicycles.
Well, yeah, it should be out of these 3, the high speed Commander should be the fastest. So if you are after very high speed, go for the Commander high speed. If you don't need more than 60 kilometers or more than 40 miles per hour and want super long range, you know, for example, for trips around the country, going to coast or trails in the forest, the high torque Commander will be amazing because it won't overheat on climbing. It will give you crazy torque. I think you can do quite good off-road with it as well. With it will just give you loads of range, you know. For me, I think, you know, I liked all these 3 wheels, but the Hero, I think it's the, little bit of misstep by Big OD. Sorry for saying that, but I think they didn't go the right direction with this wheel. The design is great to look at, but it doesn't really work. For me, it's a tough choice between the Abrams and a Commander. With Commander, again, I think if I was going for Commander, I would go for the high speed because I want high top speed. And if I had some regular small wheel for day-to-day, you know, like 16X or 18XL was my wheel.
Even Ep3.
And then, and then second wheel, something big. The Abrams is really beautiful wheel. It has amazing noise on the motor, it's quiet, really reliable, amazing top speed, amazing torque. It's just heavy. So finally, to summarize it, go for Commander if you like really powerful long range wheel. If you're a big guy or don't really mind about the wheel being heavy and big, the Abrams is amazing. It's just like, it feels great. With the Hero, you can feel free to come try it, but I think it will be difficult to find many people who will really like it.
Yes, I mean, there are some people that they really love the design.
Yeah.
And I give them that. The design is nice.
But as I said, you know, we are offering test rides with all these 3 wheels. You can book a test ride via our website or just give us a call. We also, if you're a new rider, we offer free lessons every Saturday. You know, we have big warehouse hall inside, so we are protected from the weather. You can come and we will teach you how to ride. We have all different wheels from the small ones to the big ones, so don't be scared, come and join us. And as usual, please like this video, subscribe so you can get access to more of the Ep3 talks and our lovely videos. We'll be looking forward to see you next time.
Thank you for watching.
Bye bye.